Good morning, everyone. Hope everybody had a wonderful day yesterday, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day today. So, I did some more work on the carrier here. It's not finished yet, but it is close. Was doing some work on it, getting most of it in place, added a few extra thrusters just to make sure that we were going to have enough in all of the directions, as well as just finishing up some of the armor work. I also tweaked up a couple of things in general. And, oh yeah, I need to finish that side as well. But it is in a much better state than it was yesterday. The arms are actually mostly attached. There are a few things that I want to do, just kind of tweak it up a bit more and add some additional detail work. But for the most part, it's ready enough. Obviously, we used it yesterday, but I also went ahead and I did a run for some nickel because we needed it desperately. I was needing it for parts as well, not just for the ammunition. So I went ahead and grabbed some more, which we now have. Let's see, we've got the 4.5K that's in there, plus another 13, another 29, so another 10. So we've got plenty of nickel for now. Today, what I want to focus on is getting more of the base welded up, get it kind of finished up, as well as, obviously getting the carrier done, and just generally, as my title for the stream suggests, busy work around the outpost. As there are lots of little things that need to get done before the outpost is ready to be its own thing. And we can start work on the next phase of this, which is going to be constructing the station core, as well as the tug in order to get the station core out into position. Plus, we need to figure out where we want it. And right now, the outpost is actually in a really good spot because of the fact that it's in the middle of pretty much everything we need. Just about everything is within 14 to 30 kilometer range, which is pretty easy to navigate. So there is that. The other potential is to forego the station itself and actually look at making more of a battleship so that we can go attack, let's see, that drone facility out there, as well as some of the other signals that we keep coming across. And potentially even looking at, going after something Prototech related. One of the unidentified signals. So we do have a lot of options here, a lot of potential routes. And then the other thing is that I've been giving a lot of thought to a new playthrough in the future. And one of the things that seems to be kind of popping up a lot is talk of, a no jetpack scenario, which on paper sounds like it could be fun. In reality, I don't know, but it definitely could be, at the very least, entertaining. Okay, so that's 3 underneath, and then the half blocks, 2, 3. It's fun trying to replicate something a couple hours later. Go. And get that. And there we go. Okay, the next thing was a strip, and then corner, half, corner. If I remember correctly, this was actually all solid in here. And corner, half, half. Damn it. I swear. Sometimes it's like I know I moved the mouse, but the mouse did not move. I'd actually like to get my hands on a better mouse pad at some point. I'd love to get one of those big bastards that everybody seems to have. Although I really don't have the desk space for it. If I was ever able to get this to become more profitable and upgrade my setup, I think a larger desk would not be a bad thing. Although I'm not sure where I would put it. Part of the problem with a larger desk is you need larger room. And while I have the space for it on paper, the reality of that space is I'm not sure I'd be able to pull it off. Okay, and let's see how that goes. Nope. That is beautiful. Hello, sunrise. How you doing? You there? There we go. Awesome. That concludes that portion. And then we just round out the sides and we are all set. Oh, one of the other things that I did, and I didn't notice this until I was trying to pull the original load of nickel and magnesium out, was that I had not actually connected the connector to the rest of the conveyor network. So I wound up having to cut out the back portion here so that way I could get in there and connect it all up. It works out fairly well, but it was another one of those typical cruise blunders, if you will. It was like, damn it, not again. But once I got it in there, once I got it all fixed and whatnot, it worked like a charm. There we go. Then just finish that off. I believe I did something. Nope, that's the way it is. Okay. That's actually fine, though. I kind of like that. I may go back and tweak it, but I think right now that'll be fine. That's going to give us the armoring around the thrusters that we're looking for. Then I just have to kind of figure out what I want to do up front here. I kind of wish there was a variant of the ion thruster that was a full 3x3 rather than the 2x3 that we currently have. It's strange that it's the only thruster that isn't a 3x3. All of the others, the hydrogen and the atmospheric, all have 3x3s. But the ion does not. You know what? Let's... Not that I would be able to get anything... Well, yeah, if I was doing the ion, that would be perfect. Like if it was a 3x3 block, I think I would be super happy with that. There we go. I'm not yet sure what I'm going to put in there. I may just put in some sort of greebling lights or something like that. What I'm also tempted to do... Nah. Because this spot is 2 blocks tall, which is perfect for the bay windows. But the problem is that that also exposes a lot of stuff. Now, if I take out this channel and then run the bay windows down, that probably wouldn't be too bad. But it makes the flight into or in between these two a little bit tighter than I would like. So that's one of those that we will leave it for now. Mostly, I just want to cover up a lot of these spots that are open to space so that I can protect that armor-wise. Keep it from getting shot. I was also having a think about designing a ship instead of designing the ship by putting the parts together and then building around that. What I would actually do is take layers of armor plate and build it up. Basically like building a layer cake. And then going back through and cutting out sections for where I want to put stuff. So cutting out holes for things like the thrusters, then cutting out lines for where I want to put conveyors, stuff like that. And try and build up the ship in that fashion. Because I think that would be an interesting way of doing it. No. Let's see, I think that should be correct. Is that really in line with... Yes, it is. Awesome. Okay. If I remember correctly. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's not that. It's this. Especially when I put the block in the right place. Because I'm going from essentially what is 3, so that one doesn't go there. But essentially what I'm going for is going for the 2x1 slopes. To the 1x1 half blocks, which always makes everything a little bit more enjoyable, doesn't it? Then doot, doot. Okay, because then I use that, that, and this is because I already got the other side. I already know that this is going to work. And there we go. She's still a bit blocky, and there's still a bit more work to do. But yeah, like that's the ship. Do a bit of extra work and smooth out some of the rougher edges, I imagine. But overall, for what it is and the size of it, it's not too bad. Now, of course, my biggest concern is longevity. Is it going to be able to handle the rigors of long-term usage and whatnot? And more specifically, are we likely to get blown up anytime soon? And let's hope the answer is no. I would like to hold on to it for a while. Kind of want to round this out a little bit somehow, but I'm not sure how I want to do that yet. Actually, let's take these out. Okay. Let's do just like the other side. Do that. That. Nope. This. There we go. Nope. Wrong one. There we go. Correct one. Take out this block here. And then hopefully... Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. Go. All right, next up. Let's get these half blocks in. We'll seal the corners in shortly thereafter. Corner and corner. And there we go. That rounds it out a bit. It looks funky, but I think it also looks a little bit better and just fits with the overall design style that we're going with on the ship. So we'll just have to do the same over here. And cut this away. Goes away. Okay. Well, since I've already got these here, yes. There we go. 7. Doot. No, wrong way. This way. And there we go. Starting to see some sense in the new control scheme for Space Engineers 2. The more I do this, the more I'm like, it sure would be nice if... Okay. Next up, let's get our sort of thruster cowling, I guess it would be. I mean, that's more or less what I see it as. It does help make sure that there are certain angles where there just aren't going to be sort of lucky stray shots on the thrusters. I don't know if I necessarily want to do it around the hydrogen thrusters. And I know I need to put something around these. Hey, PP! What's up, Neo? How you doing, buddy? And this? This is the carrier ship for the mining ship. Had to make sure that it was going to be, like protected and stuff. That's what it is. It's going to reach out and hurt you real bad. There we go. But yep, it's got an interior and everything. Which reminds me, we need to start working on some lighting for it as well. Like I have some lighting on the interior. Actually, some meatballs sounds like it'd be delicious. Not yours, but just in general. Yours aren't good enough, my friend. I'm sorry. Oh, man. Let's see. I need what I don't have. I should... Ooh. How am I doing on iron? I'm gonna need some more. I don't plan on touching your 2 meatballs. I already said they're not good enough. Yeah, I saw that you were streaming. Fortunately, I've also been a little bit busy, and Jesus, that's way more hours than I've done. Let's go get some iron here, which should be right about there. And hello, Iron. How are you? Jesus. Well, just remember to pace yourself a little bit. Sometimes if you overdo it, you can actually do more harm than good. That's part of the reason why I do like 4 to 5 hour streams. Yeah, that's how you spell it. That, yep. Well, that's good. As long as you're having a good time, I suppose. That's really the crux of it. Let's come over here. God, this poor thing gets real sluggish when it's full. Kind of like me. Oh, rock on. Well, hopefully you can get that. Yeah, you got to get those averages up. I know it took me a little while, so. But as long as you keep putting in the work, and as long as you keep showing up, and you're doing the streaming and whatnot, it'll eventually get there. Just gotta have faith in yourself and consistency. Consistency is the biggest thing. And that's one thing that I don't think enough streamers really talk about when they're answering the question, how do I become a streamer and how do I start becoming successful? Simple answer is just consistency. And I know I've heard it said before, and I know I've heard some people talk about it, but I don't think they stress that enough. As long as you are starting at roughly the same time, at least starting out. Once you make it, you're big and everybody knows who you are, you can kind of fudge the rules a little bit. But starting out, you want to start at roughly the same time. You want to keep a schedule. You want to run for a minimum time at least. So in my case, I usually run for at least 2 hours. Sometimes my minimum is 3. Well, it's also the time period that you're streaming. It's amazing how many people I get from Europe because of the fact that in most cases, the people that I would normally be getting, would be from the US. But they're all at work. Hey, welcome. Party of Yes, It's Limp. How are you all today? Although they're probably still in ads right now. Once you get through the ads. Nice. Some people get off work. Like I know one of my regulars, Brockstar. He tends to work at night, but because of where he's at, it's weird. Okay. Let's make sure we've got... Actually, the iron should be going through just fine. Did I empty this? That's the question. It's the graveyard shift, but I'm on the East Coast. He's over in Alaska. And so the time differential is ridiculous. I don't think Alaska is West Coast or Western time zone. I think they're like even farther back. But iron, good. Empty, better. There are days where I do miss working a graveyard shift. Oh, rock on. It's always fun when you get somebody who doesn't really speak a common language coming in and You're like, well, this is going to be fun. Absolutely, Mr. Limp. I'll do my best. Or Mrs. Limp. I don't know which one you are. All I know is, yes, it's Limp. But I'll do my best. No promises, though. And they may learn some dirty jokes. And there we go. Nice. But yeah, I do miss working a graveyard shift because for quite a while, I worked at 2 different grocery stores that were technically owned by the same parent company. And it was one of those where one parent company bought out the other one, but they were still kind of competing for a little while. Yeah, probably. I've also forgotten quite a few of them. Fair enough. Okay. The other thing is I need a paint job for this thing. I'm not going to worry about the paint job just yet because I'm not finished. Thanks, man. I'm not yet worried about the paint job as much, only because I'm not really finished with the carrier. There's still some more work that I want to do to clean it up. But it's one of those that neon pink. I could actually do the dark gray here with a neon pink. That actually wouldn't look too bad, and I can absolutely work with that. So we'll have to see how that works out. All right, so what I need. Like I said, we'll see. Let's get some of this done. God, there's going to be so many metal grids that I'm going to have to make. Because that's the heavy armor plates, specifically designed to help protect some of that area. Oh, and then I need that. Ooh, how am I doing on cobalt? I am doing okay on cobalt for a change. Awesome. All right. So now one thing that was suggested and was brought up last week, I think it was setting up a projector with a blueprint to act as a set of guidelines. Guidelines as in, guides that are lines. So that way it will be easier to bring the ships into the front section of the outpost here, because it is kind of hard to see where the entrance is if you're coming at it from an odd angle, which most likely I would be frequently. Go. Let's get this done up. I thought I had enough. And so much of this has no metal grids. But that's okay, because it still gets a lot of HP just from the steel plate that goes into it. go. Because that was one thing that I was looking at is if I don't put the metal grids in, but I do finish the block, it's still going to have, in this case, an integrity of 6,500, which is more than a regular light block. So even though it's not completely finished in terms of having all of its metal grids, it should still have enough. What are you waiting on? Oh, actually building the rest of the metal grids. That is so metal. There we go. Yep. Awesome. Perfect. And I just need to finish off that one. And then the next thing that I want to add is the gravity generator for our gangway here. And I'm actually going to put it smack dab in the middle of the hallway because that's going to be the best place for it. And it'll also help kind of make the hallway look more interesting. It'll give it something, well, interesting to look at. There we go. So on the other side of this plate here is actually our assembler and our refinery. Now, both of those have decent HP as well. So if we do get attacked from this direction, since this is the widest hole, if you will, in the asteroid, and also the one with the most direct angle of attack compared to the backside here, which is smaller entrance and a lot more asteroids to get in the way. If anything comes through this way, we'll have a little bit of armor to help protect sort of the vital organs of the outpost. That's the plan, and that's the hope. Whether or not that's how it works out is entirely up to the physics of the game. So as I mentioned, I want to take some of that and some of that. And I'm thinking what I might do is the midpoint is kind of around here. Don't need that, so let's do gravity. We'll drop it right there in the middle. And then I just need these 6 gravity taunts and also show gravity range. Come on. Almost there. And I want... The reason why I'm centering it there is to make sure that I can keep it confined to just this area. I already have a gravity generator for the outpost itself. Now I just need one for this arm. We're going to go ahead and set field width to something tiny and then also turn that on. And yeah. And then what was my other? I don't remember what I set that to. Gravity generator 2.3. Actually, 0.24. Close enough. I don't need a ton of gravity. I just need a little bit to make sure that I stay with my boots on the ground. Okay, so as far as the width goes, actually the width isn't too bad. It goes out pretty much as far as I need it to. So I need, come here. Where's the other gravity generator? And show on HUD. Okay, so that's where our current gravity generator is. So I need this to be a little bit. That should be about right. There's a little dead zone, so it looks like I got to go one more meter. One more. And that should be about perfect. And then we'll step outside and check. Yeah, there we go. All right, awesome. No mag boot activations. And then it looks like I should be able to drop the height on that. Okay. And height. Bring you down. Not that far. Let's go up to 12. That should be good. I just vented my entire outpost. Whoops. Fortunately, this asteroid not only has iron, but it does have ice, so there we go. That should be good. That'll make sure that we have gravitational coverage where we need it. Everybody will be happy. And I just did it again. All right, let's show on HUD. Need this one. Show on HUD. And show gravity. There we go. Awesome sauce. So now we've got gravity throughout the entire internal complex, which is what I want. I don't really care about having enough gravity around the exterior of the outpost because it really doesn't matter. But the interior, definitely. Next up, I need lights, and I need lights not only internally here, but I also need some on the carrier. There, that should be good. So let's see about placing some. And then go. Key thing is to have some area lights to make it easier to see. think the big thing that I want to do is make sure that I have... Because I've got the flood lamps that are on the front here of the mining ship, but I want some specifically on here. So let's grab... There we go. Not quite. I want to do... I need girders. Yay. Girders. There we go. We'll just grab what we have. They're going to get used. Oh, and bulletproof glass. Got it. Honestly, the flood lamps are a little expensive, but they are totally worth it. And mostly because of the 150 meter range, or 100... Is it 150 meters? Yeah. The fact that they have an increased light throw really makes them useful. Let's see. The other thing that I need to do at some point is kind of finish off this. Figure out how I want to finish that off, because I think what I'll do is I'll do another layered ramp up along the side to meet to the ceiling or the roof here. Yeah, that'll work. And then figure out the rest of this greebling in here. And then I was also concerned with how I wanted to light, how I wanted to decorate this, I should say. And I'm kind of considering doing... And then paneling this so that when I go to do the paint job for it, that'll give me some interesting panels to work with, make it look different. So I could do like the angles here. Run this like that. And what that really allows for is to make sure that I keep the panels and the light panels flush with each other without it sticking up out of the way. But it'll also make coloring this stuff a little bit more interesting as well, which is, again, what I'm after. No. There we go. Perfect. That starts to give it that personality that I'm looking for. A little extra something. Not sure what I'll do on the sides here, but I do know I want some sort of light. Let's put one in here. And same on this side. Oops. And this will just make it, again, easier to see when I'm trying to... Oops. There we go. When I'm trying to bring the mining ship in. And I believe we mentioned we were going to do... Let's get you disconnected. We're going to do the dark and battered. Oof. That gets real dark. Oh, I need a new... tools. And then the other thing we were going to look at was... Let's swap out this color for bright neon pink and battered. Oh God, that is so god awful. I hate you so much right now, Neo. I want you to understand this. We're gonna make it work, but God, that is hideous. Yep. I hate it already, which means it's absolutely gonna wind up staying, and I know it. And go. Then with the recessed thrusters, I think I'll do those in the hot pink as well. I don't know. But I know I want to use the hot pink as an accent color. So that way it really makes it more disturbing when you're looking at this thing. Like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? Yes. Which means... this gets done up as well. Oh, whoops. No. There we go. Gotta fix that. Also, I think I need to come through and redesign these, but I can do that a little bit later. But yeah, that's starting to look like it looks good just as much as it looks hideous. Like that's one of those it goes both ways kind of thing. It really makes me second guess all of life's decisions leading up to this point. Like, what am I doing with my life? Why am I painting this hot pink? Why didn't I become a doctor? Aside from the fact that it costs ridiculous amounts of money and a lot of work. And not necessarily what I'm interested in. I like the human body, just not like that. There we go. Oh. Oh no. Hey, what's up, Angel? No, it's all Neo's fault. Neo suggested that I paint it hot pink, so... I'm not going full hot pink with it, but I figured I'd go ahead and do the base layer of the dark gray, similar to the mining ship. Oh. And I'm not completely against it. I'm just not completely for it. Okay, this needs to get changed. Whoops. Okay, it's really hard to see. Although, honestly, I'm going to be switching those out anyway, so I don't know why I'm bothering with the color. But I figure they make great accent pieces, so that's what we're going with. Yeah, I like that better. Yeah, that just sits better with me. It the short the short front back sides just don't quite do it. But the longer ones definitely do work. And there we go. There we go. You in place. Put you in place. Paint, paint, paint. Paint, paint, paint. I was like double checking for a moment because it almost looked like I had also changed the color of the outpost. I was like, oh, I didn't want to do that. But yeah. Is it sad that I'm starting to kind of like it now? That being the case, let's actually go back to... No, that actually works. In that case, let's do... What I'll do is the ion thrusters I'll make bright pink. The hydrogen thrusters, though, will remain their normal stoic dark gray. We are. And then the vents. Yeah, that'll work. Did I? I did. Hey, what's up, clone? How you doing? Yeah, that's Neo's fault. Neo is the one that suggested that we do painted neon pink. So now I didn't want to do the full thing neon pink because even I'm not that sadistic or masochistic. However, doing some of it in pink is not a bad idea. It might. Let me check. That is not what I wanted. Let's see. 321.1. 100, 100. Yes. That was an incredibly good guess. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. And then we'll get these, which I need to put the cowling around these as well. That there and there. Generally speaking, I don't use it on my ships either. But in this particular case, it's not the worst thing I've done to my ships. So, and honestly, this pink shade works really well as an accent on top of a dark color like this dark gray. So that's why I'm not 100% against it, because I do know that this combination can work fairly well. And then once I get it all done, I think... True. Actually, pink and white work really well as well. Pink and yellow. In fact, in GTA, my sister and I have done that before on some of our cars, is do like pink and yellow, hot pink, bright yellow, really obnoxious. It's fantastic. No, it is not a combat ship. It is just a carrier for the mining ship. I think for the combat ship, I'm actually going to do large grid. Make a proper battleship for that one. Yep. I just wanted to make sure that it was going to have some firepower on it in case anything comes near enough to attack. All right. I think that is, for the most part, thrusters that need to be... Yeah. It really... Nope, those are standard, or those are the Mark II Gatling turrets. No, I don't have any modded weapons in this playthrough. Hey, Tommy, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Oh, nope, I did miss some. There we go. Yep, that is absolutely hideous, and I love it. Awesome to hear. There we go. These are not modded. These are the Gatling Turret Type 2s. These are from a DLC. And these are from the Contact DLC. Like, literally, it says it right there. DLC Contact. Hey, what's up, Derpy? All right. Now that we've got this in a better state, still needs some work, and it's going to get some work. One thing that I do want to do is see about adding some large cargo containers to this. Oh, and I need to finish that up. So let's do that and that. Yes, clone, it is a small grid ship. Trying to tell me what mods that I do and do not have installed. What game is causing you mental anguish there, Derpy? That's fair, clone. It happens. And let's get this. Awesome. Oh, damn. Oh no, I need one more. Let's get that last one. Okay. What Easter eggs are you talking about, Tommy? Like for what game? Oh, gotcha. Okay, yeah, I don't play Call of Duty, so I don't know all of those things. Let's also swap out that. And that one. There we go. Then I should put some plates. I do have steel plate. How do I not have steel plate? I think I've played that before. Come here, Steam. Store. Got to refresh my memory here.
Do you love building in games but feel like they...
Go to the store, moron. Thank you. I haven't played it. I've definitely seen it. Oh, yes. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah. Because I've seen a couple of videos of guys talking about it. Okay. I mean, it could always be worse. It'd be 2.5% incline. Ow. Fuck. Gotcha. Yeah, like I said, I've never really been into Call of Duty, except for the original World War II version, oddly enough. And I do have Modern Warfare, I think it's 1 or 2, I don't remember which. But I never really got into it, and it was one of those that the whole first person shooter thing, as it started getting more and more popular in terms of broad range appeal, is when I was starting to get less and less involved in it. Ooh, yeah, you're gonna have fun with that one. Okay, let's try and get the panels on now. There we go. And then yeah, there we go. This is what I wanted. And this will just help kind of protect the conveying a little bit. Have to figure out something a little bit better than that. No, not again. Yeah, I'm like, there are days where I find myself bouncing around from games. Like I'll play one for about 5 minutes and be like, no, this just isn't the game that I'm looking to play. And then sometimes I'll sit and I'll play a game for like 4 or 5, 12 hours straight. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have enough frame of reference for costs versus reward there with Railroader. So I don't know how good or bad that's going to be. However, hopefully it's something you can figure out. Although that's kind of the fun of self-imposed puzzle games. Is here's your problem, now figure out a solution and we're not going to tell you how. Okay. Now, as previously mentioned, I need large cargo containers for this. What are you? You my small hydrogen tank. You are hydrogen engine. I should probably grab some more ice. The only thing that I could really sort of recommend as far as trying to alleviate your struggle a little bit is to consider adjusting the scope of your rails that you're laying down. More so in their orientation and less, in their route. You may not necessarily have the opportunity to go straight there, but if you have the materials for it, kind of find areas where you can wind around on a lesser grade. I discovered who? Interesting. Oh, gotcha. Let's get this sweet, sweet ice. Just give me all the ice. I haven't played more of it. I mean, as far as Space Engineers 2 goes, it's legitimately just creative mode without all the blocks. That's basically it. And most of the stuff that they've been doing is just hot fixes to fix crashes and stuff like that. So they're not really adding anything new. But what little of it I have played thus far, there's definitely like a lot of improvements. There we go. In fact, a little bit later, we can actually hop on. I wouldn't necessarily say it's not expecting much out of early access. It's just the release schedule that they are maintaining, which is going to actively change the way that we kind of consume the game. Go. That sounds like fun. That a chance. And give me just a moment. I will be right back. All right, there we go. Feel the headache starting, so I figured I'd go ahead and grab. Well, and that's a fair thing, Tommy, is if you're not sure of what the final end result of a product is going to be, then don't invest in it until you are sure that that's what you want to get. Now, in the case of Space Engineers 2, I already know that if it's even half as good as Space Engineers 1, I'm sold. If they can get it to at least the same state as Space Engineers 1, plus the new features that they've already added with the new physics engine, that alone is worth the $30. Oh, and that's us. You're talking to somebody who's broke pretty much all the time, so always broke. Okay. It happens. Let's get this in place. No, you can't come in. Because I said so. Smudge is desperate to get in. It's like, no, you don't get in all the time. You get in some of the time. You have to maintain boundaries after all. Oh, there we go. I mean, fair enough. Why are we having problems with small steel tubes? Make more small steel tubes. I mean, okay. What the hell is going on here? Oh, I know why. Duh. I can't pull that stuff out because the stupid conveyor's right there. Duh. God, Cruz, you really are just special today. All right. Oh, this is going to be a great day. I can already tell. Again, I mean, okay. Don't need that or that or that. Okay. All I can do is sit here and go, yeah, that really sounds like a pain in the ass because I don't know. I mean, I feel for the fact that it's a challenge, but beyond that, what am I shy of? Girders. Need girders. Iron. Hey, what's up, Hollows? And yes. I don't know. It seems like a regular Tuesday, really. I'm not sure if it's a happy Tuesday. Definitely not an unhappy Tuesday. There's that, though. Damn it. And interior plate. Yep, cool. Um, no. Not unless you're calling me cute little round face. Let's see. Need more. Small steel tubes. And yes. We will have the rest of these done up, which, yay. There we go. That is much better. Yeah, like sometimes I go through bouts where like I'll wake up with a headache fairly regularly and then I'll go through long periods of time with no headaches. Like one of the things that I've been trying to do is just make sure that I drink more water. which so far I'm doing great on. Like, when it really comes down to it, I'm doing great on that. The only thing as of consequence is just for dinner, I'll typically have like a soda, like a Pepsi or a Dr. Pepper, whichever is available. Every once in a while, I will have a second one for the day, but generally speaking, I keep myself to just one. Okay, we need to take out. Actually, no, we don't need to take out. Let's take this. Yeah. It is amazing how, as we get older, the tendencies that we had when we were much younger actually are the things that start hurting us. Your Bay 2. Let's see. Grid. Add a selection. Wait, what? No blue. You're all zeros. What the hell is going? You know what? Doesn't matter. Let's see. Docking bay LCD is. Yeah, that's so weird. 203, 45, 45. 203, 45, 45. I think I kind of know what you're talking about. And yeah, sometimes you do have to do that. I've actually got a pair of memory foam pillows that Landry got me from her where she works. And what I do is I'll use one for a while because they flatten out. And I use one for my head. And then the other one I use for like draping an arm over if I'm sleeping on my side. And that'll help naturally fluff out the pillow again. And then I just switch them like every few weeks or so. And that seems to help stave off the headaches while at the same time making sleep comfortable. Okay, what do I have here? That's docking bay. Got it. Excuse me, good lord. And edit text. Docking bay 2. Let's center that. And the font size is 5. Nope, font size is 2. Ah. 2. Not 202, jackass. There we go. All right. There we go. That looks much better. Let's get the corner light in here. Awesome. You're welcome. Oh, shoot. I don't have the mining ship over here. Plus, mayo's just good to have anyway. I'll take a look here in just a sec. While we recharge. That'll be interesting. Hopefully it works for you. I'm charging my batteries. I'm old. I run out of power so quick. All right. Since we're on the inside, ooh, the Scuttler Mark 7. I'm going to have to get up again, grab some more water. All right. What I want to do in here is grab consoles, and I need interior plate, which I have a bunch. Cool. Oh God, no. Ramen does not maintain enough charge, unfortunately. I need that there. Actually, we'll replace you. Okay, that's what I thought. Also true. Oh no, not more ramen. Whatever shall we do? There we go. That should work. Drop off what we need for these. Now, the fun part is going to be adding the antenna, because I am going to give it some range. I'm going to have to give it some range. There we go. Looks like it's mostly interior plates that I'm waiting on. Ooh. Almost there. Come on, hurry up. I should have enough iron left for this. I don't really have any reason for all these consoles other than it looks interesting. I might accidentally. I might actually whack a couple of them off as well. Just take them out. But I figured this will be a good sort of control room, if you will. Lots of visible space. Plus, you can come into. Actually, you know what? Oops. Let's do that one there. Get rid of these. Okay. Corners. Put in that one. That one. Actually, you know what? I don't need that. Let's get... Awesome. That way you can walk around and actually be able to stand outside. Well, stand outside. Stand out. Yeah, actually stand outside of the consoles and be able to look out the windows, which is what I want. But still get access to them. Awesome. And then, God, it's like there's something in my eye, but I know that's not true. It's just because I'm tired. Okay. That we have taken care of. Let's go ahead and... I wish it was. God, I could use a better signal. And hopefully they can take care of a few of my ailments. You know, give me some upgrades. If not, they're useless. All right, so we've got this. I need... Interior. Make more. Not what I wanted. I mean, it kind of was, but it also was not. Let's run... Whoops. That down. Where am I going with that? Oh, that's what that is. I was like, what is that weird block? Oh, it's just the small grid bed block. There we are. Of course. And essentially what this is going to do is be the connection point for large cargo containers. Of course. And with the large cargo containers, I'll be able to start storing more ore and ingots inside of them. And that way I can actually start holding on to enough stuff for larger projects like the upcoming battleship that I want to make. I'm still not sure how I'm going to construct it. But again, it's one of those that every time I build a ship, I try and do something a little bit different. Oh, and small steel tubes. Really? So let's get what we need. There we go. That's true. Although, fortunately, in space, I don't really need too many moving parts. So there is that. Oh, apparently I need more interior plate. go. Fair enough. That would actually be kind of cool. Can't lie and say it wouldn't be cool. All right, there goes what'll essentially be our connection point. There. Now, I'm not sure how I want this to really connect. I think what I'll do is have this come down. There you go. Something to do when you're not playing COD Zombies. Let's do the cross junction like that. Awesome. Kind of tempted to go ahead and clear out some of this just so that I can feel better about filling that in. Let's do that. And there we go. I didn't want to do too much work here. Which one do I have? I think I have Boneworks. No, Bone Lab. Which one do I have? I know I have I have the first one. I don't have the second one. But that is a good game. For a VR game, it is really good. Half-Life Alex is also really good too. I have Boneworks. Yes, okay. Where am I at? There we go. Yeah, again, I would love to do more VR stuff. However, I am limited by the technology that I have available to me. Let's just finish getting this smoothed out. That should be kind of plenty. Awesome. There we go. Okay. Basically, it sounds like you're just trying to use the AI to kind of create a second player, if you will. Somebody that is a point of interaction. Oops. Probably going to have to disconnect this to get some more iron at some point, but Oh yeah, no, I get it. Like that's one of the reasons why, strangely enough, I play multiplayer games like GTA, World of Warcraft, and whatnot. I play them as a single player game, but I appreciate and enjoy the kind of background noise of all of the other players that are also in the environment. There is a certain level of comfort that that brings, having all of those other people inhabiting the world that you're also in, because it's not just dead NPCs, it's movement, it's noise, it's activity, it's energy. So I totally get it. It's one of the reasons, strangely enough, that Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online is basically my favorite game, because of the fact that even if I'm playing it single player, it still feels like there's a lot of stuff just naturally happening and going on, which makes it enjoyable. All right, I don't want to do those, even though I like the way they look. So we will do this. And then, yeah, I've done that before too. Let's see. Should be able to disconnect that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? We're going to get rid of this because I have a better way of connecting it. That goes there. Come on. There we go. And that'll just ensure, oops, that all of this is correct. And I want to make sure that I get it all welded up underneath before we get the actual cargo container in place. Exquisite. Because now this should all be connected correctly. One of the things that, and Hollows can attest to this, that I usually wind up doing is I just grab a random car and drive around like an idiot at high speed, all around the map. It really doesn't matter. Like I'll do a circuit around the highway, and then I'll just start choosing random turns. And in most cases, most people aren't trying to mess with me. Not because I'm like special or anything, just because I'm out of the way. Like that's kind of the thing, is as long as you're not making yourself a target, most people won't bother with you. There we go. But and almost there. Awesome. All right. Now we have a large cargo container. LCC 1. And hopefully this can get used for things like ores and stuff. But the other nice thing is that it is marginally protected. Good Lord. I do miss stunt racing. I did have a lot of fun doing that. There we go. All right, I am going to take a quick AFK, refill my water, maybe grab a snack. I shall be back in just a few. Make sure this gets saved. All right, there we go. Slice of leftover pizza from last night, which was great. I don't remember exactly what time it was. It was sometime after the stream. Man, I got a message on Discord from my sister. She was at work. And she's like, how do you feel about pizza for dinner? And we had an earlier conversation about utilizing the sandwich sliced pepperoni on pizza. We thought it would be great. So I was like, ordered or handmade? And she's like, ordered. I was like, I don't know. Let me go ask Mom. So I asked Mom, and Mom's like, of course. Duh. So I got our orders, sent them to my sister, and then I laid down shortly after I had lunch after the stream. And after that conversation, when I woke up and there was piping hot pizza waiting, and it had been delivered. She ordered it on her way, leaving work, and it was delicious. It was so good. And I think we all kind of needed it as well. All right. So, got a lot of this knocked out. I'm not sure if I need... Well, I'm not sure about defenses. I know I definitely need more. Let's see. What do I need from missiles? Because production, ammo, rockets, platinum, magnesium, uranium, silicon, and iron. Artillery shell requires uranium. And then small railgun, large railgun, various amounts. Okay, so I definitely need a lot more uranium. How much do I have? I have 20.5. What are we doing on ore? Still quite a bit of ore to go through. You know, I haven't actually played 7 Days to Die. I've seen people play it. My sister has it, my brother has it, several other friends have it, but I've never personally played it. You're not wrong in terms of I think it probably would be a decent VR game. But it's one of those that there are an abundance of first-person survival shooter horror zombie games. And especially those in VR. That's true. That's true. One of the games that I absolutely love and adore for VR play is that's true. And you're not wrong on that. It does have a good solid core from what I understand of it. But one of the games that I absolutely adore is Lone Echo. I haven't played the second one yet. But as far as a VR game, I love Lone Echo and the fact that it utilizes VR to give you an experience that otherwise is not possible in the same way on a flat screen. Being able to see and be out in the middle of space that way is amazing. I have. In fact, that's how I started streaming. I was streaming my Echo Arena games. No, I don't play Beat Saber. Yeah, VR No Man's Sky is really good. I have played that. And that's one of the few ones that actually takes advantage of VR as a form of controller. And that's one of those things that I really appreciate. And actually, I do need to replace. Unfortunately, I need to replace one of my handsets because it's busted. But let's see about getting some more uranium. Should have gone out this one. Oh well. Hi. No. All right. Let's whoops. Let's get all of those on. Let's disconnect. All right. Who's first? I know I have some uranium. Actually, you know what? Oops. Let's just turn all of these off. Okay. That's better. Uranium is over that way. And my asteroid. Awesome. It's kind of pretty actually with the dark gray, the pink, the blues. Got all of that working together. Should probably pick up some ice if I get the opportunity. Actually, let's just turn off all of your thrusters right now. And we'll go pick up some uranium because I'm going to need more. I should be good on platinum for a little while because we did make that trip, what was it, yesterday, I think? Also, how am I doing on... All right, I probably should set one of the containers to maintain a small amount of extra ammunition. Set it to special and then, set of ammo. The underside definitely needs some work. It's a little plain. But I'm happy with how it's turning out. It actually looks like an interesting ship. It's also one of the first ones, as I mentioned previously, that uses hybrid thrust, where it has both the hydrogen and the ion thrusters on it. So that's a new one for me, and it works out really well. It tends to, I don't know if it's more fuel efficient all around. I do know, though, that should give me extra thrust capabilities. Just lots of extra thrusters everywhere is basically what this turns into. And I'm happy with that. Yeah. And then as far as the combat ship, the battleship, I'm not sure yet how I want to build it. Oh, gosh, yes. Another great game that would be perfect for VR, and probably the most perfect of games for VR, is Red Dead Redemption 2. Like, I don't know how much more perfect that game could be for a proper VR setup. I know I saw at one point in time that there was a mod, but it was behind somebody's Patreon paywall. And I'm sorry, but I refuse to pay money for a VR mod for a video game. But I know I'm a provert. I've been doing it so long now. I'm professional. But yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 in VR would be absolutely amazing when you consider. True. But I mean, just being able to, like, pull your pistols, pull the weapons from your back, all the little things that make the game experience interesting. So there is a series of quests in No Man's Sky that you can take part of or take part in that, it's actually uncovering a specific, why are you here scenario. So it's not completely aimless. I mean, to each their own. Was this? Yeah, that was the hole. I tried that. It didn't quite work for me the way that I was hoping for. But I think that's just a limitation of my video card. Like, I'd absolutely love to get my hands on a better VR headset because I've got the Quest 2. And for the most part, it's been a great VR headset, but I'd love to get a better one at some point in time. Nope. There we go. All right. Yeah, I get the feeling, Clone, that you're not happy unless you're getting to shoot everything on screen. Like, I don't know. It's something that's been screaming at me now for the past 3 weeks. Personally, no, that's true. You don't need to shoot everything, just mostly everything. For me, the purpose that I need to build is the building itself. That is my purpose. Let's get... I get it, though. There are people who are specifically like goal oriented, I think is the best way to describe that, is that in order to build the thing, there has to be a particular reason behind it. Factorio is a great example, and especially with biters. Primarily, the reason why you're building in Factorio is A, because you need to get the factory started, but with biters, it's also because you need to protect yourself against the biters. So it's one of those that goal-oriented gameplay is not a bad thing. And as far as I know, No Man's Sky has a lot of that is available. Hell yes, Factorio is probably still one of the best video games out there, at least for me. But No Man's Sky really does have a lot of different reasons to build things. Like building a base does actually have purpose. And especially because you've got all these different factions that are available. And I believe they also did a huge update just recently with Worlds 2. Oh, thank you, M14. And yeah, this little mining ship is doing a great job. It is doing its job admirably. Give me more. Give me more ore. I'm just glad I finally got around to actually adding the stone ejectors to it. Instead of just saying, yeah, let's do that. Well, and again, that's when you're looking at the thing as a goal that you have to achieve, you wind up running out of goals to achieve, which it happens. That's why when I play, if I'm not playing with enemies, I look at a build project instead of just build this thing and then build that thing and then I guess I'll just make this better. I have a large project that I want to get done or attempt to get done. And then if I get it completed, then I try and come up with another large project. Now, hopefully with Space Engineers 2, they do tackle, and they should be able to tackle, giving people lots of different types of gameplay loops to get involved in. Whether you're looking at the goal-oriented of, this is the end result that I'm looking to get to. This is the end goal, and I have to build my way there. Versus, I'm just playing to play. That's where I also enjoy exploration. Exploration, when you add in exploration into it, it becomes a lot more interesting. But that's also part of the problem that Space Engineers doesn't have enough landmark or points of interest that give you a reason to explore. Now with Contact and then the one prior, they've done a little bit better about that, but still. It really does. It really, really does. And Modular Encounters does a really good job with that. And then with Contact, basically adding in stuff that Modular Encounters does to a certain extent. I think that was a really good step in the right direction for Keen Software, because it allows the game to then become more gamified rather than just a pure sandbox. Like, one of the things that I'm considering for my next playthrough hey, even the bad guys got to eat. One of the things that I'm considering for my next playthrough, and this is something that was mentioned, like I know Code was talking about this, is going with a no jetpack playthrough. Yeah, wreckage mods are good for that too. Like that wreckage we found on Pertum when we first started the playthrough, this playthrough. That was absolutely awesome. That was a lot of fun. Let's see. What am I doing on the uranium here? That'll be okay. Yeah. Well, and that's unfortunately just the nature of AI versus humans. AI is always going to know where you are before you know where they are. Let's see. I think we're about. Oh, we still got a bit more in this. This particular deposit. That was when I used to play Arma 2 pretty heavily. We had a server for the group, and we would typically run the insurgency maps, which were actually a lot of fun, especially for our group play nights. But one of the problems, and this is just a problem in general that I always had with Arma 2, is that the enemy NPCs were always crack shots. Like, they would know where you were at from literal miles away. And they would headshot you before you had a chance to do anything, which was so frustrating. As far as building with NPCs, there is actually a mod that adds NPC engineers that you can build that will do that sort of stuff. DayZ was a lot of fun, only because of the fact that once you figured out how the zombies worked, it was really easy to cheese them. We used to do that all the time because, um, yep, yeah, that right there is the key problem, is that the NPC never suffers from the same uh, inability to target that humans do. They always know where you're at. But with DayZ, With DayZ, we figured out what you could do was just run into a building. And as soon as you ran into a building, the zombies would just start walking real slow. They'd follow you into the building, and then they would just slowly walk. And so that was how we used to get rid of them, is we'd go attract like a whole bunch and then run them inside a building that had like 2 entrances. And then you could just run in, have them all chase you inside, and then run back out and lose them. There's also one time we were up on a building, and because of the pathing of the zombies, they would make it upstairs, but then they would all follow the exact same line to get to you. And so we would go prone on the corner of the top of the building and just start shooting them and taking them out. And then once we got tired of that, we would switch to silence weapons or whatever and finish them off, and then just start looting them and walk away with tons and tons of loot. That was always a lot of fun. Okay. Let's go ahead. Actually, nope. There we go. Thrusters off. We should have a decent amount of uranium there. Next up, I want turn off the uranium. Got magnesium and gold. Yep. You are 43 away. How close is that going to wind up getting? This could wind up being kind of interesting. I don't have a ton of ammo on me. But let's get going. And then we'll pick up some more gold. I might pick up some more magnesium from here as well. And then we'll head on back home. How close are we going to get? Oh, it doesn't look like that's going to be too bad. We should be able to pass right by them. Yeah. Well, and I tried to get into Arma 3, and at the time, my computer wasn't quite as powerful, so Arma 3 didn't run as well. And it was also, I just was not in the right frame of mind and in the right sort of situation where milsimming Arma 3 made sense to me. But the group that I was in for Arma 2, we did a little bit of that, which was fun. Although you could definitely tell a lot about the type of people that you were playing with. We had a couple of guys, one in particular, where we would be running an operation, and what was it, Turkestan, I think was the map that we would typically run on for insurgency. And we were doing a particular mission, a particular op, where it was just, go up to this location and clear it out kind of thing. Kinda. But it was, we were doing this operation, and one of the guys was leading it. And we had come up the road we were heading north away from our FOB. And as we got to the intersection where it would split off east and west into 2 different villages, towards 2 different villages. We got pinned down real bad. And I'm explaining this like I've been in the fucking military, but no. This was just that particular operation. That was how it went. But we got pinned down real bad. And a lot of our guys were getting taken out or at least getting injured. And so the guy who was leading it was not pushing anybody forward to try and clear out where the targets were at. And we just kept taking more and more casualties. And finally, he just up and bailed. Like, he couldn't handle the fact that nothing was happening. Nothing good was happening, and he wasn't able to get his head wrapped around trying to lead everybody. And he just disconnected, just left. And everybody's like, "What, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot? What's going on? What happened to our lead guy?" And at that point, I was like, "Well, screw this. I'm tired of sitting around watching everybody get shot." So went ahead and took over. Because I was also, at that point, I was one of the leaders, but it was more so just, because I knew the guy who was running it, and managed to get everybody corralled, get everybody motivated to start taking out specific directions. And then shortly after that, we were able to then go ahead and continue moving on. I think we went west after that, and we started taking out clearing out a village when the rest of the crew started showing up. And it was stuff like that was a lot of fun. It was nights like that where everything would go horribly, horribly wrong, and then something would happen to then bring it all back around. I also remember one night, before we were really like a proper group, the guy who I played with, who used to be my coworker at Best Buy, he was the one that had kind of talked me into doing Arma 2. And so we were on a server one night, and we had loaded up on a chopper, and we were flying out to a location to go attack it. And as we're flying, the pilot, first of all, was just absolutely scraping the belly of this helicopter across the ground. He was that low. And it was beautiful. But then my friend over the mic starts just absolutely belting out Alex Cross's Too Close to Love You. And everybody's just sitting there. You can hear him kind of chuckling. But everybody was having a great time. It was just like, yeah, this is awesome. It was one of those times where, you enjoy that type of gameplay because of the fact that it is so damn random, but so good. So many good memories to come out of that. And that's what I really enjoy most about those sorts of games. It's not the gameplay per se. It's the moment-to-moment things that take place. It's the random BS that winds up happening. Like the other night. I can't really say that I had a particular preference. I wasn't much of a pilot. For me, I was always more of a ground trooper kind of person. I was the grunt in terms of being on foot. If I was flying, it really kind of depended on what I wanted to do. I think, generally speaking, I preferred the Huey or the Black Hawk over something like the Little Bird. Okay, let's go up to this magnesium here. I know we had a couple of guys who were just absolutely phenomenal pilots, who like they flew our missions. Yeah, absolutely. Um, like, there was one guy, though. He kept wanting to be a pilot so bad, but he could not follow directions and follow orders to save his life. Because my sister also wound up playing with us. She was part of the group. And she turned out to be a fairly decent pilot in her own right. And unfortunately, he just had this thing about not listening when people told him, don't do this thing. And he'd be like, oh, I'm totally going to do this thing now. And we're like, but don't do the thing. But I have to. I have to do the thing because I think it's right. I'm like, all right, fine. Don't listen. Because God forbid you should follow orders. Let's see. There we go. I really should set up a timer. Yeah, I've seen montages of the guys who play squad and who have like 2,000 hours, 3,000 hours in that game, and they do that sort of stuff where they're whipping the tail around and almost going completely upside down as they roll the helicopter around to land and stop basically on a dime. And it's like, okay, we get it. Life this. But that is also why I think those sorts of games, in a way, they're important to us culturally because of the fact that they allow people to form lasting, almost brotherhood like relationships and friendships. I think that's one thing that, from a social perspective, is necessary primarily for men, but also women can get into it as well. I'm not saying that it is only for men, just that primarily men need it. It's what allows us to kind of bond. Because when you look at the way that men generally become friends, is they spend a lot of time like beating each other up and insulting each other and just generally being complete dicks to one another. And that's how you know we're the best of friends. Yeah, exactly. And so it's one of those things that it's a useful tool to build good, lasting friendships. And it is amazing how often we wind up becoming lifelong friends with somebody because of those shared moments of tension and heroism and bullshittery. Like a lot of the guys that I played EVE Online with, I still talk to. I still reminisce about good old days. Something like that, yeah. Let's get this sweet, sweet gold. But that's one of the reasons why I'm not a huge fan of like Call of Duty, or even the battle royale games like Fortnite and PUBG, because of the fact that they don't always reward good teamwork the same way. The competition gets a little bit too competitive in a way. it's sometimes really difficult to extract yourself from the idea of working as a team better. Whereas something like the Arma series or Squad or any of the others, that's one of those, those sorts of games, and especially in larger groups, really do kind of help you build up better relationships. Sometimes you get, yeah, exactly. Sometimes you do wind up getting the personalities that are out there that are just complete pains in the ass. But every situation, every group winds up like that. All right. There we go. Let's get flipped around here. And there we are. Perfect. That's one of the things that what I've wanted to do in Space Engineers multiplayer. Like, if I set up a server, and I think I've mentioned this before, I would want to set it up in such a way as to have almost like jobs, if you will, that you could perform that would be part of the whole. Like, it would give people a reason to use specific vehicles. That's not what I wanted. There we go. So like cargo hauling rovers, there's absolutely no reason for them. Because with ships, you can just carry so much more. But I think it would be cool in a multiplayer setting to have it so that you would have a whole bunch of these rovers that are out and waiting at a parking lot, have players be able to log in, pick one up, drive it out to a job site or to a mining site or something, fill it up and bring it back to an ore processing facility, and actually have logistics and have construction and have all these different areas that people are working together in to perform specific activities. Yeah, just stuff like that that would make the multiplayer experience a little bit more interesting and a little bit more effective, and especially if you then lined it up with something like a modular encounter system where you did have to worry about protecting convoys, where you might have raids and bots and stuff like that. All right, that should be enough gold. Let's head home. Gonna make sure that we come out a little wide on this. This will give us a chance to take a look at this drone facility while we're at it. Shoot. I don't know which turret is which, and I don't feel like stopping to find out so that I can assign names to it. We'll just have to do that later. because what I wanted to do is take a zoomed in look at this drone facility and see what we're looking at. Last thing I want to do is take in something like this and with minimal ammunition and try and take it out. Oh, whoops. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Man, that's something. Okay, so this has been an interesting past few months for Star Citizen. Actually, it's been a hell of a year, past 365 days for them. In that the past few patches that they have released have actually been actively making the game worse. Little by little, it has been making Star Citizen worse. And with 4.0, and 4.01, it has reached such a head as far as how bad the game is right now that CIG, well, that's on them. That's their dumb decision. But CIG actually canceled one of their free fly events, which is typically one of their more lucrative times for selling ships, because of the fact that the game is in such a horrible state to be almost unplayable. And it's like everybody keeps telling you every time you're about to release a patch, this patch is not ready. This update is not ready. You need to work on it some more. There are all of these bugs that are still happening. And CIG goes, oh no, it'll be fine. And then it's not fine. And then everybody's like, well, we told you so. And CIG's like, yeah, you're right. We're sorry. We realize that this is probably a bad state of affairs to release it in. We'll do better next time. Next time rolls around, they do the exact same thing again. They throw out a bad patch, and everybody's like, we told you so. And again, yeah, exactly. And they have bugs in the game that have persisted now for years for things that, like elevators. They have elevators everywhere, in every city, on every station. The game just relies on elevators. And elevators notoriously break every single patch. They have yet to make elevators just work. And so everybody's like, you need to fix that because that's how people get around. Maybe if you added stairs to locations, but they can't do that either. And then with the way that ship hangars have been working, ship hangars have been breaking. And it's just one more thing that is consistently breaking. Which way am I coming in from? Yeah, something like that. Yeah, here we go. But the fact that they have finally decided to actually cancel an event is what's really interesting. They almost never cancel it, even though most of the player base is like, you need to not do this because of the fact that it's going to make the problem worse. And it's always, oh, well, we need to collect data, so we're just going to do this until it crashes and fails. And our systems they'll pick it up and fix it, that sort of thing. But the reality is, we are too far forward, or too far back. At the end of the day, I think they're starting to realize that they can't just keep doing that. And that it is costing them a lot of money and they're hemorrhaging a lot of people too. That's the other thing. There we go. Got some more stuff out of that, some more gold. Yeah. And that's okay. I think that is a very important number to look at. Is you look at Space Engineers versus Star Citizen. Star Citizen has something like 15 to 1700 employees. Space Engineers has 30. And yeah, those smaller teams are getting more accomplished than these massive, giant teams. And it all comes down to the fact that a smaller team is easier to manage than giant teams. I imagine if Space Engineer or if Star Citizen had a third of the people working on it they do now, they might actually be farther ahead, even with having to work on Squadron 42 like they have been. And it's all because management has been management is the problem. And it's the unfortunate reality is that management will always be the problem. It's not the guys at the bottom, it's always the guys at the top that are causing the biggest issues. Yeah. So it's one of those that sometimes bigger is not better. How we doing on ores? Awesome. So I have a bunch of uranium, I have a bunch of gold, a bunch of platinum, magnesium, nickel. Cool. Yeah, same with Steam and Valve. Valve has a very small number of employees, but they all are worth a lot of money. So there is that. Okay. So today has been pretty good so far. We have gotten a lot of the busy work around the base taken care of. We finished up most of the carrier. But how about we hop over to some Space Engineers 2 for a little bit and just have a good little bit of a fuck about. Because I know that is a question that has popped up a few times. Exit Windows. Give that a few. Looking. Um. All right, at 14. Have a good one, buddy. Stay out of trouble. And then, doot. Space Engineers 2. Fair enough. Not modded, but new player friendly all the same. Okay, where did I put that? There it is. Although, honestly, at this point in time, I don't think it's like it's. Kintar is one of those weird ones when it comes to games because sometimes he'll be like really into a game, and then other times he'll be like, "Yeah, I really want it," and then he gets it, and then he never plays it. Not that I would know anything about that. I always play everything 100% of the time. All right. So, this is actually one of the worlds that I was messing around in. I was kind of just messing with the tool set, trying to get to know it better, getting a feel for how it all handles and whatnot. And I was starting to work on a sort of base, if you will. God, the sounds are so good. But one of the things that I was messing around with here is this idea that I had that can only work in Space Engineers 2. But the idea is that I use windows on the top and the bottom to make it airtight while still having grates on the top and bottom. So that way you get this grated look and you can look through, but it would still be able to hold an atmosphere, theoretically. And then I was looking at, being able to easily copy and paste sections and messing around with the controls and whatnot. Which, the longer you mess with it, the easier it winds up getting. So, for instance, like what I would probably do here is let's grab, and I love the fact that the grid is just one grid now. It makes life so much better. Okay, and then thank you. All right, then let's see. Go ahead and new. What I want is let's actually a little bit smaller. And then partial copy. Oh, yes. Then I can just get rid of that. Run this down. Perfect. There we go. And this is what I mean about, slowly getting used to how everything works. Because the controls really do feel pretty good once you start getting a handle on it. It just takes a little bit of time to train your fingers to the new control scheme. All right, let's do... Although I wish it would not do the auto rotate all the time. I really do need an extra one. Actually, you know what? 1, 2. Let's do 2. And same with here. And there. Now what I can do... Nope. Pop you in there and there. You do... Interior. Interior. How do I want to do this? Yeah, that'll work. And then I should be able to grab this. Oh, wow. Okay, that's wider than I thought, but this will work. There we go. Yep, that'll be good. Now fill in this gap here like so. And just once you start getting a handle on the controls, it really does start to feel better. You start to better understand what they're after. And I'm finding that while I'm playing Space Engineers 1, I'm wanting to mimic some of those behaviors. Just because they do feel better. And it's not necessarily like the copy and paste stuff or the drag and whatnot. Because that stuff is already in creative mode for Space Engineers 1. But it's more so the hitting control and then being able to rotate and stuff like that. Those are the things that I am most interested in. And I need that there. Let's copy this all the way down. There we go. No. There we go. And yes, I know. Awesome. All right. So that is going to wind up giving us... And again, this is me just messing around. This is just kind of getting a grasp on the controls, coming up with some ideas, that sort of thing. But you can already feel how powerful this new unified grid system is going to be. Nope. What I need is a shorter version of this. Let's bring this down to there. Pop that out and pop that one out. There we go. And then same with there. We got this top portion. And there we go. Now, where do I have the... I do have that like 2 times. Okay. Need you. Pretty sure I don't need you. Character gear. Let's grab the paint tool. Oops. I'm used to just being able to like right click on it and it goes down to the bar. Let's see. Do I not have any skins? Oh well. Let's go with... Actually, let's go with yellow. Yeah. Like 1 or 2 skins would have been nice. Just, you know, something to kind of break up the monotony of the current skin in question. But yeah, I can work with that. All right, next up, let's go full square. Then kind of help outline the room some. Let's drop these. Oh, thank God for undo and redo. Which really, when you say it like that, it almost sounds like it's a couple of, I don't know, like Hindu gods. You have the Hindu gods undo and redo. They were responsible for the creation of the universe. All right, let's bring this there. No. Yeah, that'll work. And then what I can do is Control P. That's think. I am on board with this 100%. Let's see. I think I need. Let's get rid of this. Do me a favor. Copy that over to the Discord. I I want to hold on to that because that's something I want to print out, and I think my mom would actually get a kick out of that too. Is that? No, it's not. Because my dad always would have stuff like that he wind up printing up just for giggles. There we go. That's what I was after. There we go. Yeah, that looks better. That really does, like, it's the detail block, the regular blocks, painting tool, all of it really is blending together to make more interesting builds. I just suddenly had an idea. Probably. I don't know, though. I'm not the one that personally feels the pain of thinking. I only visit that upon everybody else. So, when it comes to thinking, it's you guys who have to suffer with it, not me. And yeah, I like that. And there we go. And then it's that one and that one. Yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty sweet. Then what I should be able to do is grab that. Do I'll have to tweak that, but get rid of this and this. Actually, we'll just all that. Yeah, that'll work. And again, like, this is the sort of stuff that I have always wanted to do in Space Engineers 1. And this is always the kind of stuff I've not been able to, simply because of the limitations of the 2-grid system. Because between colors, shapes, and the usage of textures and whatnot, you really do get some interesting, fun detail work. Let's do... fill in this area here. Go. Yes. Yes. Yep. I like that. Like, this is something I could spend hours if I had some green motivation. I could probably spend hours just messing around with this. Working on the base. Yeah. When we finally get a full-fledged... the full-fledged space engineers, it's gonna be amazing. Oh, you have both. I like that stair block. Oh, sweet. I did manage to clear it. But yeah, like that just... it feels so good. The building, just the feel of the game itself. It looks amazing too. Now, granted, I'm not using an RTX card, so I don't get the benefits of ray tracing. However, this does already have ray tracing native to it, which is supposed to make it look even better. And I've seen some of the other content creators, some of the YouTubers out there with their ray tracing turned on, and it does look absolutely gorgeous. So it's one of those that, should I ever get the opportunity to upgrade my video card and actually get a better one with ray tracing capabilities, I'm absolutely going to turn it on for this game and see how well it works from a personal perspective. But you can see how easily and how quickly you'd be able to start getting really cool looking builds going with minimal effort. Like, it really isn't taking a whole lot to, build this, to get it up and running. Let's go back to, was I using that yellow? We're about to find out. Whoops. Nope. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. And then I can obviously do... and then pop that in there. Let's take... actually, let's... let's go ahead and Control P. Go down to the floor. Come over to the side. Boom. Awesome. And there. Now, granted, again, this is creative mode. So being able to quickly get stuff built, it just makes sense. So it'll be interesting to see how this then applies to something like survival when it does get put into the game. Oops, nope, there we go. Let's do that. And then oh my god, eyeball. Okay. And go. What I should be able to do get rid of all of that. And Control P. It's so far down. That really is just a ways away. Oops. Make sure we grab the whole wall. The whole wall, and nothing but the wall, so help me God. Hot damn. That was super easy. This copy and paste system really does make life so much easier now. But I'm really liking the way that that's, out of the way. I like the way that this is turning out. This definitely gives it the ability to become more interesting. Okay, let's do... Oh yeah. All walls are created equal. Oh no. Yeah, we're going to have to go back to single for that. I don't want to do all of that. There we go. Boom, boom. Let's just get these as well. You know what? The trim on the windows looks pretty good like that, so sure. Now, I will say the one thing that I do like about the paint gun in Space Engineers 1 is that it does have the capability of producing gradients. So it's not 100% with, every time you're looking at the block. So I hope that's something that they wind up doing with, there we go, with this later on, is adding that nuance of being able to go from like 1% of that color added to the block all the way up to 100%. Get those colored up, and yeah. All right, so the next thing I want to do is let's grab how do I want to do this? Best bet is I will do that. Let's, whoops. Grab this, and we'll just copy it over like so. There we go. I need that. Thank you. See if it'll let me. You thought you could keep me from doing something awesome. I mean, probably still could, but if you tried really, really hard. Oh no, that's interesting. Wouldn't let me. There we go. Wouldn't let me get into that little hole there. That's what she said. But wouldn't allow me to select what's back there. So that's interesting. That's all set. Okay, now the fun part is figuring out how I want to do the ceiling portion. Before that, I could have actually copied this wall. Looking at it now, like, oh yeah, I absolutely could. There we go. Now the other nice thing about this, that what we're doing right now, is this is actually going to help push the rendering engine, at least on my hardware, to see how many lights we'll be able to handle in general. Okay. We're at 10,000 of 400,000 blocks. What I'm going to do is let's get rid of nope. Rid of those. And then I want to what am I wanting to do? grab all of these. And there we go. Nope, that's the wrong color. I need you. There we go. There. Go with the flatter floor. Thud. And then again, same thing. Cover this up for now. Oops. And then just make sure we get this line in here. Awesome. And really, that doesn't feel too bad. That actually feels just fine. And then, you know, I might just leave it like that. So there's a little bit of that gap, that separation there between the top and the ceiling. Let's see. We've got... This will be perfect. Because there's always that guy who has the office that's way too big. And you have to walk all the way over. Yeah, that'll work. It ain't perfect, but it'll do. But yeah. I can't wait for more Space Engineers 2. I really can't. I cannot wait for them to really start expanding on what is here. Because what is here is feeling, the more I play with it, the more it feels right. Like it's going in a good direction. And it just, first of all, it runs amazing. I cannot wait to see where it goes from here. However, we are going to have to wait until tomorrow for more Space Engineers, at least streaming-wise, because I'm going to go ahead and wrap up. Then tomorrow we'll probably see about, we already got a lot of our busy work done for the Outpost, a lot of the little stuff out of the way that I wanted to get done. I'll probably finish up the carrier tonight, just getting the last little details on there. So that way it'll be good to go. And then tomorrow we'll see about starting possibly the battleship and, you know, kind of figure out what we want to do with that. I don't know if it's going to be like a battleship or if it's just a ship that battles. Probably go with a slightly smaller one at first. So that way, if we lose anything, it's not a major loss of resources. Whereas, you know, we can't necessarily afford it. So other than that, though, that is going to be it for today. As always, thank you all for joining me on these misadventures. So glad to have you guys along for the ride. You all have a wonderful day. Stay out of trouble. And remember, if you get caught, I don't know you. I will catch you guys tomorrow.